Hello everyone. In today's discussion, we are going to discuss about the Android virtual devices, it is also known as the emulators. So, coming to the Android virtual devices, so it is the very effective part of the Android development by which we can develop the various applications into a virtual device for testing purpose only. So, moving to the next slide, like what are the overview of the virtual devices? First of all, what is definition? So, coming to the definition part. Coming to the definition part, Android virtual device are the software emulation of a physical Android device. So basically, it is the we have used a lot of various Android devices, and for that we need to create Android virtual devices for testing purpose only. So we what are the purpose of this AVDs? AVDs allow the developers to create and test the application without the need of physical devices. So sometimes we have no configuration mobile handset or we don't have any mobile handset. So we just need to test our application in the Android development. So we need the Android virtual devices. So what is the flexibility that provided by the AVDs? AVDs provides a customizable environment to simulate various devices with the configuration and the Android versions. So we can add a virtual device to our requirement and environment and configure it according to the versions, like what the Android versions we are using and what is the RAM we required. So we can develop our own virtual devices and use it in the Android Studio. So moving to the next slide, what are the benefits? So first benefit is the it is cost effective. So Android virtual device eliminate the need of the purchasing multiple physical devices for the development and testing. So it is eliminated the need of the purchasing the multiple physical devices. We don't need to purchase each and every devices of different screen sizes. We just need to create a emulator and according to our requirement, like 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, any type of requirement, we can use it in the physical devices and we can create with the different multiple screen sizes also. We didn't need to purchase these things from the market. And the next benefit is the accessibility. Developer can create the AVD with different screen sizes, resolution, and the hardware. As I discussed in the first cost-effective thing, so here it's given like we can create the different screen sizes, resolution, and hardware specification. So it is the efficient testing. AVD provides a convenient way to test the application on the different Android versions, so minimizing the compatibility issue. So first of all, we are using the AVDs for testing. It is we can test the application in convenient way to test the application in the different version Android 11, 12, 13, any of the Android SDK. We can use it and create our virtual device to test our application. So moving to the next slide, like how we can create a AVD or an Android virtual device. So in Android Studio, AVD can be easily created using the Android Virtual Device Manager in the Android Studio. So if you move to the toolbar of the Android, you can get the AVD Manager icon. So you just need to click it here and configure. You get the configure option. And developer can also choose the target Android SDK device name, screen sizes, resolution, and the hardware feature. So snapshot support, AVD can also save the and load the snapshot. We can take the screenshot of the bugs of any of the application, allowing the developer to quickly switch between the testing scenarios. So we just need to debug our application while using the Android virtual devices, and we can take the snapshot also. So that's this we can create the AVDs. So how can we run a AVD? We are discussing this slide. And launching an AVD is one of the once an AVD is created, it can be launched directly from the Android Virtual Device Manager. So performance consideration, adjusting RAM, heap sizes, and emulator setting can be enhance the AVD performance. Okay, and deployment option, AVD can also be deployed on the physical devices for testing and run directly on the developer machine. So, like how we can run the application and select the virtual device which we have created in the Android Studio. In the performance consideration, we can adjust the random access memory, heap sizes, and emulator setting, and can enhance the AVD performance. For deployment, like we can deploy any of the AVDs can be deployed on the physical devices for testing. We can install the AVDs for the on the physical device as well and use it directly and in the developer machine. So so that's it. We can run in the AVD. And moving to the next slide, like how we can test the APK. So after the app deployment, we can install the APK file or deploy directly from the integrated development environment from ID to the running APK. So you can just install the APK file, or you can just deploy directly from pressing the run button in the Android Studio integrated development environment IDE, which is IDE. Android Studio is the IDE. We are using this IDE for installing the APK. So next part is debugging. So debugging, developer can debug their application to the AVD using the standard debugging tool. So we can just debug the APK by using the AVD debugging tool. And what are the testing scenarios? So AVDs facilitate the testing for different screen resolution, orientation, hardware configuration, and Android versions. So in next part, what are the advanced feature of the Android virtual device? So sensors and the input emulation. So AVD simulates the various device sensor like GPS, accelerometer, gyroscope, and touchscreen input. So and second one is the network simulation. AVD can simulate the network condition like Wi-Fi speed, latency, and the packet loss for the testing network dependence application. And what is the virtual camera is also used in the AVD supports. Using the device's camera functionality for testing the camera related to the features. So, so the main conclusion about the Android virtual device, like Android virtual device provides a powerful flexibility platform to develop the testing the Android application. With AVDs, developer can save the time and reduce the cost and ensure the compatibility across the different Android versions. So, as we discussed in the slide, it is reduce the cost and ensure the compatibility. Like we can create a multiple devices and run the same application for testing purpose and start using AVDs today streamlines your Android app development process. So we can use it fastly and we can use it with the reduced cost, and these are the main basic fundamentals of the Android virtual device. So I hope you can learn a lot of things about the Android virtual device. So I hope we will meet in the next video. Thank you so much.